Okay. So, hmm, so coming to the next part of the this first chapter, basic principles in chemistry. Okay. So today, after this law of combinations, what I will discuss is a concept, okay, of equivalent weight. Concept of equivalent weight. This is a new thing to you because you haven't learned this thing, and you have learned atomic weight, molecular weight, atomic mass. Then how will you convert, means what is the molecular mass when you convert to atomic mass to molecular weight. So these things, mole concepts, specifically. So this is practically, I would say, a new thing you will learn. Okay, and this will, if you think, and later on when you will read other several chapters also, where you will encounter this term equivalent weight again and again and again. So there you will find that indeed when a molecule forms does undergoes a reaction and combines with other molecules, they uses, and other than they show their concentrations, their properties, okay, the calculations what you they uses the equivalent weight to do that. Okay, let me see, discuss this equivalent weight in a slightly different way. Okay, but the concept what I'm trying to give you, this is very important. Listen very carefully. The example, the way which I will explain the equivalent weight of any substance, this example was not, it was not my idea. I was discussing a few days ago with my friend. He was my college friend. So he gave me, I had one way of describing the equivalent weight, but he gave me a very beautiful, more beautiful way of to describe this equivalent weight, which I will share with you guys. So, let's say you went to market, okay, and you have 50 rupees in your pocket. Okay, 50 rupees. Now, in this 50 rupees, what you can buy? What things you can buy? Okay, let's say you can buy two pens. Pens are very costly these days. Two pens you can buy. Okay. Then you can buy four copies. Four copies. Okay. And obviously it is not classmate. Okay. Next food what you can buy? You can buy five drawing sheets. Five drawing sheets. Okay. Why I'm writing this number? This number is important. Okay. You can buy, let's say 10 pencils. Okay. And what else you can buy? You can buy, let's say in 50 rupees, you can buy 200 piece chalk. Chalk. Okay. Now, if you see very carefully, with this rupees 50, I'm not saying within 50 rupees, with this 50 rupees, with this 50 rupees, you can buy two pens. Either you can buy four copies, either you can buy five drawing sheets or 10 pencils or 200 pieces of chalks you can buy. That means if I take this 50 as the standard, okay, so these copies and the pencils, these are the different terms, different things, two different. But this 50 with 50 is basically equating them together. Now, this is not equal. They cannot be equal because copies and pencils, they are not equal. But somehow, using a specific figure, they are equal. But this term, I will not use equal. I will refine this term. I will say here, your four copies are equivalent equivalent to 10 pencils. Four copies are equivalent to 10 pencils. This is known as equivalence relation. Known as equivalence relation. Okay. Now, now For the water molecule, if I think about what will happen. So each atom in the system combines with other atoms using their equivalent weight. Equivalent. Now, in case of water, if what I will think is hydrogen has atomic weight 1.008. Hmm? 1.008. This is the atomic weight of hydrogen. And what is the atomic weight of oxygen? Atomic weight of oxygen is 16. Okay, 16. Or this is gram per mole and this is gram per mole. So I'm not using this concept, this gram per mole or any units. I will not use. So what I will use here instead of this gram per mole and so I will say this part and part. So that means hydrogen is 1.008 part, 1.008 part, and oxygen is 16 part. This is 1. Instead of 1.008, I can write 1. Okay. Okay. But actually it's 1.008. So what happens in case of water? If I think, see this is H2 and this is oxygen. Okay. That means 2 part weight, 2 part weight of hydrogen combines with 16 part of oxygen, right? 16 part of oxygen. So 1 part weight of hydrogen, 16 by 2, that is 8 part of oxygen. Now what is 8? 8 is the equivalent weight of in water. When water is the 50 here, and in water you have hydrogen also, oxygen also. So in this particular case, your equivalent amount of oxygen is 8. Okay. Similarly, if you have H2S, sulfur, okay, hydrogen sulfide, if you have, okay. So in case of hydrogen sulfide, what you have? 2 part of hydrogen, 32 part of sulfur. So 1 part of hydrogen, 32 by 2, 16 part of sulfur, right? Okay. So this is the concept of equivalent weight. So what will be the definition? Write it down. Definition: the equivalent weight, okay, equivalent weight of an element is defined as the part by mass of that element. Equivalent weight of an element is defined as the part by mass of that element combines with or displaces directly, combines with or displaces directly or indirectly, displaces directly or indirectly 1.008 part by mass of hydrogen, indirectly 1.008 part by mass of hydrogen, 8 part by mass of oxygen, and 35.5 by part by mass of chloride. Okay, by mass of chloride. Achha. Now, if I use this concept, okay, if I use this concept here, let's say I am taking a combination of 3 elements. What are the 3 elements? Number one, I take calcium here, I am taking oxygen here, and I am taking chlorine here. Here. Okay. So here if you go to the law of combinations, chemical combinations, what you will find, if the ratio with calcium and oxygen will bind, and the ratio with calcium and chlorine will bind. If I fix one, the ratio will oxygen and chlorine will bind together, right? Okay. So now let's think that in this case, let's say calcium and oxygen, they are combining to form calcium oxide. Okay, and oxygen and chlorine, they are combining to form Cl2O, dichloroxide. Okay, now calcium and oxygen. So what I said, 16 part equivalent weight. Okay, equivalent weight if I talk about. Okay, so what you have to in equivalent weight, when I said 8 parts of oxygen, so I have to take 8 parts of oxygen. But here, if I take the calcium oxide here, what is this? This is the 16 part of oxygen is equivalent to 40 part of calcium. 40 part of calcium combines with 40 part by mass of the calcium, right? So 8 part of oxygen is 40 by 16, 40 by 16 multiplied by 8 part of calcium, so which is what? 16 to 20. 20. So 20 part of calcium. So this 20 is basically the equivalent weight of calcium. Equivalent weight of calcium. Now, if you think this calcium here, if I think like separate, थोड़ा सा separate way, this calcium undergoes by calcium plus 2 plus oxygen minus 2, right? Now here, if you think this calcium has dipositive ion, can I write this? The equivalent weight of calcium is equal to molecular weight of calcium by 2, right? 40 by 2. So these two is known as the valency factor. It's known as the valency factor. And see, if you go to your basic chemistry level, this is plus 2. That's why your oxygen, this is also dipositive. The oxygen is 16 by 2, 8. Right? 8 was the equivalent weight of oxygen. Now 8 equivalent when you come take about, so this is 8, this is also divided by 2. Okay, so this is dianion, and due to this dianion, the calcium has to be dipositive ion. So the dipositivity comes in the calcium. So the effective mass, which is the equivalent mass, equivalent weight is the molecular weight divided by the 2. 2. And where is 2 comes from? This dipositivity of this calcium. And this dipositivity in normal case is known as the valency factor, and it is defined by Z. Defined by Z. Okay, this valency factor is defined by Z. Okay, and so in general, what we can talk about in general, let's write it here. So generally, equivalent weight is equal to molecular weight divided by Z. Okay. See, this is one particular case which I am talking here. Now, when I will go to the chapter ionic equilibrium, chemical equilibrium, then you will learn more about equivalent weight and redox also. In case of redox balancing, the chapters will come. Then you will learn more about the equivalent weight, and there you will see this importance of this balancing factor. Okay, acha. Now coming to the problem. So similarly for Cl2O, if we talk about, so for the Cl2O, okay, it is which one? 16 part of oxygen is equivalent to 35.5 multiplied by 2 part of Cl2, right? 35.5 Cl2. Okay. So 8 part of oxygen is 35.5 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 8 by 16. So which is 35.5 part, right? 35.5 part. See, the equivalent weight of chlorine is 35.5. See, if I write here, so the calcium, the equivalent is 20, okay, and the chlorine, the equivalent is 35.5, when the oxygen has equivalent 8. Now, if you think the calcium 8 part of oxygen is combined with the calcium 20 part, and the 8 part of oxygen is combining with the 35.5 part of the chlorine, that means calcium and chlorine will definitely combine with 20 into 35.5. Let's look at that. So calcium, so it can be valid or not valid. We don't know yet, and I am also really don't know. Let's check. Let's check. So what compound they can form? CaCl2, calcium chloride. Okay, which is nothing but calcium plus 2 and 2Cl minus. Right. So this is, so what I can write, 2 multiplied by 30.5 part of Cl2 will is equivalent to 40 part of calcium. So 35.5 part of Cl2 is 40 multiplied by 35.5 divided by 2 multiplied by 35.5. So 30.55 cancels out 2 to 20. Yes, indeed. Indeed. Yes, indeed. Indeed. So what is this? This is nothing but the law of combination, the fourth law, law of reciprocal proportion. So the law of equivalence proportion, or the equivalent weight concept, is necessary corollary of the law of reciprocal proportion, and it is proved. Okay, so this is there in your first chapter, the concept of equivalent weight and all. So later on, the more you will more chapter go one by one, thermodynamics, then chemical equilibrium, then ionic equilibrium. Then you will be understand more clearly what is this equivalent weight is there, and how will you apply this equivalent weight in different cases. Okay, so it will be very good. And till then, you switch on next part. Okay, and next I will discuss the Dalton's law, then the Avogadro's law, and there are few important things left which you need to know. And straight away I will finish that chapter, and I will start atomic structure. Okay, so thank you.